right, there's so much to talk about. I got a big film study up close, in depth. I put my heart and soul into this. Found some tech stuff with the tech guys to make it go quicker. I think next time it will be a little bit better. I had a little learning curve, but I invested big time in this because it's a huge question. You know, I say, does Fangio suck? And it's not, someone said, no one said that in the comments. I'm not saying it. I said the Twitterverse. The Twitterverse is the knee-jerk reaction. It's where you get these small little things to make these grand proclamations. And for the most part, it's not right. Sometimes it is, but for the most part, it's not. So I'm going to go with Fangio's defense, but more importantly, the players. If your players are out there and they're performing their job and the matchups are equal or favor the coordinator, then you look at the coordinator. And if he is failing, then that is the critical phase. But you got to look to see, were they put in the right position? Did they maintain the position they were put in and do the job they were supposed to do? And then what were the matchups? And then you add in the DC, the calls, broad-based with philosophy, and then the individual dialing it up. Okay, so that's going to be the key. I'm going to let you make the decision. But for me, there were so many mistakes. And you got to understand, zone defense we played man. We were playing man and zone because it's mixed match zone. Sometimes we had man and the guys were playing zone. But what we're running here is highly complicated. And in a zone defense, everybody's got to do their giant jobs, even when it's mixed match zones and guys are doing man within that. Run fits, you have a series of gaps. And so each guy's got to have his gap. In coverage, you're spacing between your other guy, how you pull back and are separated from the next defender and how deep you get is critical. If you have to take a 25-yard box, 25 by 50, the field's 50 feet long, 25 yards deep, that's 1,150 feet. You take away the 4 rushers, and you get 7 guys in there, and quick math, it's like 155, 160 feet per cover guy. That's a lot of space. And so when you take 2 or 3 guys, and they're playing, 2 or 3 yards from each other, you cut the ability to cover. So spacing is critical. Drops are critical. The way you drop back, that's going to be another thing that's going to be critical. So I'm going to cover all the stuff, go through it. I don't think Fangio had an A+ game. My early evaluation would be B+. But the players, you'll see there are so many mistakes. And while you can say, hey, Fangio could have done maybe better on this one, if he could have done better, there's only a couple. When you see really considering spacing, fronts, drops, tackling. The tackling was terrible. And so this doesn't say that Fangio isn't responsible. Who did he put in? Did he make decisions to put guys in? Does he going to get better or worse down the road? But within this game, I'll have the film here. You can take a look at it and then make your decision. But I gave my all to this one. So that's the deal. Let's get into it and take a look at the film. I'll go drive by drive and see what we see. All right, let's open up with first drive, and let's take a look at run fits. Now, this was a nice run inside. Look at Long. He's got that gap. Holland's got that gap. Kohu's got the outside gap. You'd see the double inside with Sealer, and Chubb has the outside leverage. But watch Long. He moves away from his gap, and you can see Sealer getting moved across the line of scrimmage, and this peels it open. If he had held his gap a little bit longer, been patient, he'd have filled it, and then the rest with Kohu and Holland would have filled it as well. So now come back to another pass play here, and thing you'll focus on is the missed tackle, and that's bad, but it starts with spacing. Watch Chubb's drop. It's vertical, yet the route coming out is horizontal, and you see that there's just not enough space covered The spacing is too tight and the drop is wrong, along with the missed tackle. Watch Chubb going vertical, and yet there's a horizontal drop, leaving the flat wide open. And then notice his angle. He breaks down and he goes inside out using the sidelines, but he doesn't drive him back inside, outside in with the help right there. And then you get the broken tackle for first down. Come back here, inside run. You can see the double here with Wilkins, double here with Sealer. That's not an easy job, but everybody fits in. You get the blitz inside by Bethel, and both Sealer and Wilkins hold their double, peel it off, and all three make a nice run stop with a small front, although the blitz helped that out. Now you see here, you drop it in to Kincaid, I believe it is. Nice little pass, but everybody's got their spacing right. Nice tackle, play dies. Another run here inside, one-on-one. Everybody's one-on-one, and everybody does their job one-on-one. And this was a nice play by Long to peel off and make the tackle. Nice run stop. Come back, another inside run here. You see the double again on Wilkins. You see Sealer to the left. He's got a one and a pulling guard. And you see Baker on top. He's getting shut down, but Long and Wilkins do their job. Long does a great job shaving the outside and making a nice play, but Wilkins caused that running back Cook to bounce outside. Now you can see, look at the leverage. The defense has the leverage to the top, and they're losing leverage to the bottom with Kohu one-on-one versus Diggs. Now you can say Fangio didn't call it up right. What's going on here? But leverage is the key. The defense has to understand their leverage. Now he brings two blitzes, and the leverage is over there to the right, and Kohu's one-on-one. But what does Long do? He, instead of maintaining the leverage, protecting the weak leverage by blitzing to the outside, he blitzes inside and drives Allen to the weak side of the leverage. Tough throw. But if he had blitzed the other way and forced him back to the strength, the leverage strength of the defense, this play would not have happened. So little things like this, they play out big. Then we got over here, the touchdown. You could blame Fangio, but that's not the case. There's so many things wrong here. I want to start off, look at the spacing here. This is bad spacing. You got a rotating safeties of Holland and Jones, and so that's not good. There's not good depth there by Holland. But then you can focus on a lot of other stuff. Now, these two safeties are rotating over. If Jones had rotated earlier, he'd have been there for the pass. You got a Howard man coveraged, and so Holland's supposed to be back there to help him, and then Jones is supposed to help Bethel, who gets beat bad. And this is not on Fangio. It was a bad attack, bad decision by Bethel, and a touchdown. But the rotating safeties rotated late, not good depth, bad spacing to start. And look at Bethel. That's a very terrible. I don't know what he was thinking. Biting early on the out, but it turns into an out and up, and he gets roasted. But still, Jones, if he rotated right, would have been there. Let's keep focusing on drive number 2 on spacing, run fits, and angles of drop. Now, Sealer breaks off the block here. You got everybody run fitting. Long Wilkins breaking off his block and making a nice run stop. Look at everybody guarding the line of scrimmage. Everybody's playing over zone coverage. Everything looks good. Getting a short little pass, tackle, stop, and drop. Very good so far. But now remember Chubb's angle of drop. It's going to come back here. You're going to see it play out again. Look at this bad spacing. You got a lot of space to cover. You can't be like this. And look at the receiver at the bottom in the flats, wide open. If Chubb drops at an angle, he can make this tackle. But that spacing's terrible, and it allows some extra yards. Probably would have got the first anyway, but maybe not. But extra yards added. Now, look, you got your best player driving down on the tight end, ready to catch the football. This should be a stop and drop, but it's not. This is not on Fangio. This is just player mess up. This is a terrible tackle, and just getting thrown down like that for a first down. That is all player failure. Perfect call. Now, again, look at this. Another good call. This should have been like a 3 or 4 yard gain, but there's 2 missed tackles, most notably Baker at the top, poor, terrible angle of attack for this tackle. Just terrible, terrible, terrible. And you get the first down. I think it's Brandon Jones misses the tackle at the top. But this is ugly. This is bad. You can't have that. Not in zone coverage. So we come back, get a little run inside. Now this is the big explosive run. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. Watch Brandon Jones at top, turn his head the last second, and he's late to see the handoff. Watch him. He looks, he's checking something. The ball snapped, he's dropping back, and then he realizes it's a run. Now he's a step or two behind, and instead of getting in a hole, he's there. He misses the tackle, but it was late from the beginning. But there's more than just not that. Remember run fits. Look at Long peeking in the wrong hole, losing leverage, opening it up. He gave up his gap. Instead of going to the A gap to the left, he peeks to the A gap to the right, and that opens it all up. If he had stayed in there and Brandon Jones didn't get distracted, that would have been a limited run. Now here you go. Nice coverage, nice pressure. This is a win by the defense for a 2-yard gain. Everything looked good on that one. Nowhere to go. Some good pressure, though. Chubb gets buried there. Still, this is a big win for the Dolphins. 2nd and 8. Now, doubles inside by Seal and Wilkins. That's a very hard job. But, man it well. Fighting it off. But the gap stays pried open just a little too long. It gets sealed. But that little delay gives a 3 or 4 yard run. But in the red zone, that is not the best. It was good, better, or best on that one. Again, see Wilkins with a double. The chip and the double, but then he fights it off and comes back, and he limits this run. Very nice play by Wilkins, but still that 3 puts him down at the 1. There's a very light box here, but now again, look, one-on-one Wilkins, he pulls himself off, gets himself in position, but you'll see that Long at the top just can't fight off the block, and Neela can seal it to shut that thing down. See right there, Long is being occupied. Seal is not able to fight off fully, but Wilkins did his job. All right, let's go to the third drive here, and let's remember spacing and leverage. We get a little play action pass. You can see what legitimate play action does for you. You see Diggs gets the ball. It's easy to say Kohu got burned, but that's not the case. Watch the inside defenders here. All gets sucked up, bad spacing, bad leverage, opens up the post, the skinny post window, and that's how this play comes about. Kohu did his job, but the inside guys got sucked up and opened up the hole for this play to succeed. So not bad call, bad on the players. Now watch this safety. I don't know what the situation is here, but it's very curious. You got the big play here. Kohu, man, up on the top. But look at the spacing here. Look at that circle, all those players. And then look at the other safety, Holland at the top playing over the top. But that safety did a robber and came up inside. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know if that's what his job was. It just didn't make sense. But you can see here the hand of Kohu on Diggs and doesn't turn around for the ball. That's going to get you the PI most of the times, if the ref feels like it. But that's generally the case. All right, so you got the big play now, and now you got a little swing pass here, and watch Holland, terrible tackling, first down, should have been, it should have been a 3 or 4 yard play, just ugly. And so this is, again, player mismanagement of the defense. Now, inside here, you can see Long, he's not patient enough. He gets sucked up in the hole. Seal is doing a good job battling the double, but Long bounces out, and he makes a tackle, which is not bad on a regular down, but in the red zone like this, 4 yards does hurt, and it kind of started with a lack of patience. Got to have your run fits and patience. Nice coverage here by Kohu, just very tough pass to make. So this was solid coverage. Maybe could have been put in a little bit better. Now you come back. This will be the 3rd down. And nice run fits. Everybody's battling. Everybody's clogged up. But you get the ball down to the 1, but there's a penalty, and then you get this touchdown. This is just ridiculous. Supreme talent by Allen. Everything's kind of done right. Look at that spin move by Van Ginkel. Seal and Van Ginkel doing great in their rotation of attack. You got pressure coming from the other side. Long's in the right position, but Allen does what he could do, or a few guys could do. And this puts Long in a very tough position. If he had flowed with the play, maybe, but him stopping on a dime like right here, he just can't keep up with the flow. Can't blame him. Look where the ball's being released at just the last second. This is just an amazing play, and Long was in an extremely tough position. But it's not from a poor defense. It's just unbelievable play by Allen to extend it and deliver at the last second. That's just great quarterback beating your defense. All right, drive 4, and you can see here, Long is one-on-one with the receiver. This should be dead about 3 yards, but he takes that step inside and loses leverage. I don't understand why he did it. He's got help inside. He should be outside in. Instead, he goes inside out. Then gets a stiff arm here. And this goes from a 3-yard play to a first down. Then another missed tackle. And it turns into about a 15, 20-yard play over one missed tackle, one bad angle. And then you come back here and then look at Sealer and Wilkins, get the penetration, just turn this into a stop, both them in tandem, just wreck the play. So you get a negative play. Very good play for the Dolphins defense. Come back here and you get the pressure. You can't, this is this is such quick pressure. Look, he's surrounded, totally surrounded, just gets the ball between Wilkins' hands and then delivers the football. That's just an elite play by a quarterback. You can't do much better. Now Wilkins gets the hand up and a deflection. They come back to a run play here. Everything looks good. Baker does a good job. Gets sucked up a little bit, but his speed gets him to the hole to shut it down. And then you get this. Look how far Brandon Jones is off. See, the lack of range really hurts him on this, among other things. That's a catch. Coe's trying to hold him up, and Jones just totally whiffs, gets there late because he's a little slow. He's the guy who has to finish it. This has nothing to do with Fangio. This should have been, a 15-yard play. Okay, on to the next play. And this is pure ugliness. Drive number 5. So open this thing up. It's inside handoff here. And watch, Long at his best, downhill, shooting and attacking. Everybody's got their run fits right. Edge has lost a little bit, but Long saves the day, gets in there, and makes a big play. This is where he's at his best. Come back. Pressure up the yin-yang from Wilkins. Pass, quick drop. Watch him defeat Torrance. And this is a big play by Wilkins, showing what he can do. And then Van Ginkel gets the sack, but this was started by Wilkins. Nice play to finish up, brutal hit. Great play by the Dolphins defense. Come back, a pass here. There's pressure, but not enough. And Allen gets it off real quick, goes deep, almost a huge play. Holland gets there, but maybe a little bit late. Still, this had to be a perfect pass. Great coverage, tight coverage inside by Bethel. And that ends the drive. Drive 6. Open up with an inside run from the shotgun. Everybody has their run fits. You'd see Long breaks things up, drives him to the edge where he gets taken down. Pass here, it's a short down situation. But why don't you jam the receiver here instead of shooting? You never get an air time. Aside from that, get the tackle. It's hard to make that one. I'd call it a win by the offense, but a slight win. Come back inside here, play action. Now look at this. Somebody's messing up. You got Baker, man, and this, I don't know who this is, but he's doubling up on the tight end. You got 3 guys, it's bad run fit, bad spacing, and then I believe that's Long by himself, and he's alone with 2 guys here. Somebody originally made the charge to the middle, or Baker made a mistake on that play, because that's not how it's drawn up. You can see right here, Knox and Cook are bookending. Long, there's nothing he can do. Huge play, and that is bad spacing. That's not on Fangio. And then you get a run here, takedown. Nice job. Pressure inside. You got scrambling Allen. Everything looks good here. Nice job by the defense. Pressure by Chubb. Can't finish it off. That would have been great. But then Van Ginkel's there to kind of clean it up. But the coverage forced this one. This is coverage sack. This is what Fangio wants to do. Come back here. Pressure again. The great looking spacing. Everybody's kind of covered up. Allen has nothing, no choice but to scramble out, run in. He picks up a couple. Good win by the defense. Nowhere to go. Some good containment. Breaks it, but Allen's going to do that most of the time. But the coverage was there to force this as a coverage pressure. Run inside. See, everybody's got their run fits right. Really no place for Cook to go. Another good play by the Dolphins defense. You get a pressure inside here a little bit. Clear window in the middle. Drops it off. Everybody's holding their positioning. You get a 2-yard pickup. Another win by the Dolphins defense. Allen drops back. Again, a little bit pressure. But what is going on? Why is Bethel charging to the middle, leaving the receiver open? It doesn't make sense. This opens up an easy play for Allen if he had just had better understanding of what his responsibility was. I can't imagine it's getting back to the middle. Bethel could have easily made it, but then he could have made the tackle here to maybe for a short first down attempt, but instead we get back this play that everybody's focusing on. But ask yourself this: why is Kohu biting on the inside? And then look at the spacing and the drops of the middle. That does not look right. I don't think this is the way Fangio drew it up. I think Kohu bit inside, and the middle guys didn't know their full responsibility and didn't create the right leverage. But we don't know that, but it appears that way. Drive 7. Play action, pass, and this is the big play. Look, you got 2 receivers in the same area. One guy over the top with bottom half leverage. Somebody blew their assignment. Let's take a look. Watch it, Brandon Jones. He's pointing to somebody over there, but there's nobody over there. I don't know what this was about. Why? Look, you got Baker, I believe, charging to the flat. He's charging to the flat. This zone is totally wide open. The safety, I can't remember what his name is, a guy who shouldn't be playing. He just kind of gets beat. He freezes. And this was just totally blown coverage. And this is not what Fangio wanted. This is just a total disaster as far as decisions. Now, you see over here, the linebackers, they get pinched, lose their spacing. Baker bites in too much, and the pulling guard then gets leverage. And you see right here, and once you got this, it's all over. You got Chubb on the outside getting sealed, which ain't pretty for a $23 million guy. And this is just all about the linebackers pinching, not being patient, not reading properly, and losing their spacing, and losing control of their run fits, and losing leverage. And so this doesn't say that Fangio isn't responsible. Who did he put in? Did he make decisions to put guys in? Does he going to get better or worse down the road? But within this game, I'll have the film here. You can take a look at it and then make your decision. But I gave my all to this one. So that's the deal. Let's get into it and take a look at the film. I'll go drive by drive and see what we see. All right, so clearly you could say maybe Fangio could, but a lot of times, so many times, bad tackling, bad spacing, bad drops, poor run fits. Now, the stubbornness of running that thin front in the red zone can be a problem. But I got to go back and check. Was it were the Bills running hurry up? So maybe you can't shuttle the guys in. So that's another layer that I didn't really add to this, which I could have. Maybe next time I'll do that more. But guys, how many failings did you see? It was atrocious. And if you just put Elliott in, you would have seen a lot of these problems mitigated. You would have seen a lot difference. So, and then if you add Ramsey and possibly Needham, to me, this secondary is the major problem. It's not doing what it needs to. It doesn't really seem to know. And maybe putting Brandon Jones in there wasn't the wise move. But maybe he felt like he had worse options. So this is what I saw. I would say definitely this was a player failure. It's an intellectually driven system. In zone, everybody's got to do their job. You see sometimes with Long, he cheats and tries to get in there, and then he leaves his assignment, and it leaves the defense exposed. You've got to have the intestinal fortitude to hold to your job. Don't leave your post. Okay, so I don't know. I want to hear from you what your comments are. I have mine, but I'm looking forward to hearing you guys try to change my mind. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. It's a long one. Curtis says, Curtis saying, get you next time. Be well. Go Fins. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.